December 16th, 1944, 5:30 a.m. The Belgian Ardennes forest. American soldiers huddle in foxholes, half asleep. The war feels almost over. Everyone's talking about being home for Christmas. Hitler's armies are in full retreat. Victory is inevitable. Then, the horizon erupts. 2,000 German artillery pieces open fire simultaneously along an 85-mile front. It's the largest German barrage since the invasion of France in 1940. Within hours, 250,000 German soldiers, elite panzer divisions, SS troops, paratroopers come pouring through the fog and snow like ghosts. The Allies are caught completely off guard. This is the story of how the Allies nearly lost Europe in the final winter of World War II. Act 1, the setup, 0:30 to 3:0. Let's rewind 2 months. October 1944. After D-Day, the Allied advance across France has been unstoppable. Paris is liberated. Belgium is free. American and British forces are pushing toward the German border. Stalin's Red Army is steamrolling from the east. In the Allied command, there's genuine optimism that the war will be over by Christmas. Some generals are already planning victory parades. But Adolf Hitler sees something different. In his bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery, Hitler studies the maps obsessively. He knows Germany is losing. The question is, can he change the narrative before it's too late? His generals tell him it's over. Surrender now, and save what's left of Germany. Hitler refuses to listen. Instead, he hatches one final desperate plan. Operation Wacht am Rhein. Watch on the Rhine. Punch through the weakest point in the Allied lines, the Ardennes forest, the same route Germany used to invade France in 1940. Split the British and American armies. Capture the vital port of Antwerp. Cut off Allied supply lines. Force them to negotiate peace. If it works, Germany survives, the Western Allies make peace, and Hitler can focus everything on stopping the Soviets. If it fails, Germany has nothing left. The gamble. Hitler scrapes together every available resource. Elite Waffen-SS panzer divisions, the last fuel reserves, veteran paratroopers. He even pulls divisions from the Eastern Front, a move that weakens Germany's defense against the Soviets. Total force, 250,000 men, 1,400 tanks and assault guns, 2,000 artillery pieces. The plan requires complete secrecy, radio silence, night movements only, camouflaged positions. And it works. Allied intelligence misses it completely. Act 2, the attack, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The barrage begins. American positions across the Ardennes are hammered by artillery fire. Soldiers who moments ago were sleeping or eating breakfast are suddenly fighting for their lives. Through the early morning fog, German armor appears. Tiger tanks, Panthers, King Tigers, the most powerful tanks in the world. The Americans in this sector are a mix of green replacement troops who've never seen combat, an exhausted division sent here to rest and recover. They're not prepared for this. The first hours, entire American units are overrun. Communication lines are cut, chaos spreads. Commanders have no idea what's happening or how big the attack is. German forces punch deep into Allied lines. In some places, they advance 10 miles in a single day. The massacre at Normandy. On December 17th, at a crossroads near Normandy, Belgium, SS troops capture 84 American prisoners. They line them up in a field, and they execute them. Machine gun fire cuts down the unarmed men. Those who survive the initial volley are hunted down and shot as they try to crawl away. Word of the massacre spreads through American lines like wildfire. The message is clear. This isn't a normal battle anymore. The Germans aren't taking prisoners. There will be no surrender. The weather. Perhaps Germany's greatest ally is the weather. Heavy fog and snowstorms blanket the region. Allied air superiority. The decisive advantage in every battle since D-Day is worthless. Planes can't fly. The Germans know this. They've timed the offensive to coincide with the worst weather of the winter. For the first time in months, German tanks move without fear of being obliterated from the air. Allied command responds. At Supreme Headquarters, Allied Expeditionary Force, the reports coming in are confused and contradictory. Is this a local counterattack? A spoiling attack? Or something bigger? By December 17th, it's clear. This is a major offensive. Supreme Commander Dwight Eisenhower makes a critical decision. Instead of panicking or ordering a general retreat, he sees opportunity. The present situation is to be regarded as one of opportunity for us, and not of disaster, he tells his commanders. His logic: if the Germans want to come out from their defensive positions and fight in the open, let them. The Allies have more men, more tanks, more supplies. Eventually, German momentum will stall, and then they'll be destroyed. But first, the Allies need to hold. Look at a map of the Ardennes. Right in the center, there's a small Belgian town called Bastogne. Population? About 4,000. It doesn't look important, but Bastogne sits at the junction of 7 major roads. Every supply route, every reinforcement line, every avenue of advance runs through this town. Whoever controls Bastogne controls the battle. December 18th, the U.S. 101st Airborne Division, the legendary Screaming Eagles, is rushed to Bastogne. Their orders: hold the town at all costs. They arrive just hours before the Germans. By December 20th, the town is completely surrounded. 18,000 Americans trapped inside. Facing them, 45,000 German troops with tanks, artillery, and air support. The situation is desperate. Supplies are running low. Medical supplies are critically short. The wounded are being treated in makeshift aid stations in the cellars of destroyed buildings. And it's cold. Bitterly, lethally cold. Temperatures drop below zero. Soldiers are getting frostbite. Some freeze to death in their foxholes. December 22nd, the surrender demand. A German delegation approaches under a white flag. They carry a typed message for the American commander, Brigadier General Anthony McAuliffe. The message is polite but firm. The situation is hopeless. You're surrounded. You have no chance of relief. Surrender now, and your men will be treated well as prisoners of war. Refuse, and we'll annihilate you. McAuliffe reads it. His first response, to his staff: "Ah, nuts." Someone suggests that's exactly what he should tell the Germans. So that's what he writes. The official reply to the German surrender demand: nuts. The German officers are confused. They don't understand the slang. An American officer explains, it means go to hell. The Germans walk back to their lines. The battle continues. The siege. For 6 days, the 101st Airborne and attached units hold Bastogne against overwhelming odds. German tanks prowl the perimeter, probing for weaknesses. Artillery pounds the town day and night. Infantry attacks come in waves, but the Americans don't break. They fight from the rubble. They use every weapon they have. When they run out of ammunition, they scavenge from the dead, German and American alike. Medics perform surgeries by candlelight. Chaplains comfort the dying in frozen foxholes. Engineers rig explosives to stop tank attacks. The turning point, December 23rd. On the morning of December 23rd, something changes. The weather clears. For the first time in a week, the sun breaks through. Visibility improves. And the Allied air forces launch. Hundreds of C-47 transport planes roar over Bastogne, dropping supplies by parachute. Food, ammunition, medical supplies. The sky fills with white and colored parachutes. The soldiers on the ground weep with relief. Fighter bombers follow. P-47 Thunderbolts, British Typhoons. They strafe German positions. bomb tank concentrations, destroy supply columns. The siege continues, but now the defenders have hope. 200 miles to the south, General George S. Patton is executing one of the most remarkable maneuvers in military history. His Third Army, over 100,000 men, thousands of vehicles, pivots 90 degrees to the north and drives straight toward Bastogne, through snow and ice. It's a logistical nightmare. Moving that many troops that quickly in winter conditions should be impossible. But Patton doesn't care about impossible. On December 26th, tanks from Patton's 4th Armored Division smash through German lines and link up with the 101st Airborne. The siege is broken. Bastogne holds. The German offensive has reached its high watermark. By Christmas Day, German spearheads have penetrated 50 miles into Allied lines, creating the distinctive bulge that gives the battle its name. But they haven't captured Bastogne. They haven't crossed the Meuse River. They haven't taken Antwerp. And they're running out of fuel. The fuel crisis. Hitler's plan depended on capturing Allied fuel depots in the first days of the attack. German tanks were supposed to refuel from captured American supplies. But the Americans either defended the depots successfully or destroyed them before retreating. Now German tanks are running dry. Panzers sit abandoned on the roadside, out of gas. Allied counterattack. With the weather clearing and reinforcements arriving, the Allies go on the offensive. From the north, British and American forces push south. From the south, Patton drives north. German units that advance deep into Allied territory are now cut off and surrounded. The hunters have become the hunted. The human cost. The fighting in January 1945 is brutal. Villages change hands multiple times. Tank battles rage in the snow. Artillery duels echo through the frozen forests. The Wehrmacht fights with desperate courage. These are veteran soldiers. They know they're defending the Reich itself now. There's nowhere left to retreat. But they're outnumbered, outgunned, and out of supplies. January 25, 1945, the Bulge is eliminated. Allied forces link up. The front line is restored. The Battle of the Bulge is over. The Butcher's Bill. The numbers are staggering. American casualties, 89,000. 19,000 killed, 47,000 wounded, 23,000 captured or missing. German casualties, 100,000. Estimates vary, but losses are catastrophic. British casualties, 1,400. Civilian casualties, thousands of Belgian and Luxembourgish civilians killed. Tank and vehicle losses, over 1,000 on each side. It's the bloodiest battle fought by the U.S. Army in World War II. Here's what most history books don't emphasize. The Battle of the Bulge didn't just fail to save Germany. It guaranteed Germany's destruction. Strategic consequences. Hitler gambled everything on this offensive. Germany's last strategic reserves. The final fuel stocks. Elite SS divisions. The best equipment still available. German units that advance deep into Allied territory are now cut off and surrounded. The hunters have become the hunted. The human cost. The fighting in January 1945 is brutal. Villages change hands multiple times. Tank battles rage in the snow. Artillery duels echo through the frozen forests. The Wehrmacht fights with desperate courage. These are veteran soldiers. They know they're defending the Reich itself now. There's nowhere left to retreat. But they're outnumbered, outgunned, and out of supplies. January 25, 1945, the Bulge is eliminated. Allied forces link up. The front line is restored. The Battle of the Bulge is over. The Butcher's Bill. The numbers are staggering. American casualties, 89,000. 19,000 killed, 47,000 wounded, 23,000 captured or missing. German casualties, 100,000. Estimates vary, but losses are catastrophic. British casualties, 1,400. Civilian casualties, thousands of Belgian and Luxembourgish civilians killed. Tank and vehicle losses, over 1,000 on each side. It's the bloodiest battle fought by the U.S. Army in World War II. Here's what most history books don't emphasize. The Battle of the Bulge didn't just fail to save Germany. It guaranteed Germany's destruction. Strategic consequences. Hitler gambled everything on this offensive. Germany's last strategic reserves, the final fuel stocks, elite SS divisions, the best equipment still available. It was the moment the Allies nearly lost Europe, and the moment Germany sealed its own fate. Hitler's last gamble failed. The thin lines held, Bastogne didn't fall, and 3 months later, the war was over. The soldiers who fought in the Ardennes didn't just defend a forest, or a town, or a strategic position. They defended the future. Our future.